Let's get a word from our sponsors. Ava is sponsoring this episode of Write It Out, and she wanted you guys to know that she wants some bones. So you should buy some bones and send them to, she's going to set up a P.O. box. You could be a paid sponsor if you are, not ethically questionable. We'll show you some love. Oh my God, he's back.
Have you been razzing me the whole time?
Yeah.
Well, joke's on you because I can edit all of that out. But I probably won't.
No, I hope you do.
Hello, and welcome back to Write It Out, the theme park podcast about theme parks, and we do it all. I'm Tyler.
Podcasts.
And Tyler.
Am Tyler. And am Jessica.
Wow. We're going to get that so smooth eventually. No one will even know the difference.
Don't promise things that we have no chance of delivering.
It is a lovely, way too hot spring day in Tallahassee. We just came back this morning from going to you would call it a farm?
Yes.
Yeah. They were having an event where you could go pick your own strawberries.
And it was just the quaintest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So whimsical. Our child ate too many illegal strawberries.
Way too many.
Yeah.
Like 5 or 6. And they were just in the dirt.
It was great. It was great.
It was a good time overall. And we have showered. The baby is sleeping.
It was important to say the showering bit because, like you mentioned, it's hot.
Miserable.
Yeah.
I was sweating, but I will say it gave me a little bit of a taste of being at the parks.
Yeah.
Because I had my Spider-Man shirt on.
Yeah, you're practicing for summer, getting yourself all hot and bothered.
Yeah. Hot and bothered, I think, has a different connotation.
Well, you're hot and bothered for theme parks.
Who's to say?
Well, anyway, the baby is asleep currently. She's got maybe about an hour left on the timer, which is the perfect podcast length. So
exactly.
Let's do it.
I'm ready. I think we're just going to get right into it. I did want to say that we're getting excited because this weekend, you're listening to this a few days after we're recording, but this weekend, it is the media preview weekend for Epic Universe.
Yes. First weekend in April.
Yes. And we are already seeing things come in from people that we follow on some social media. I heard the Battle at the Ministry Harry Potter ride has not been running until literally like a few hours ago.
Oh, goodness.
The first people are actually getting on it for the first time.
Such drama.
Yeah. Do you know anything about the ride?
Okay. Time travel.
Well, yeah.
Flu powder. That's about it.
Oh, okay. You know who the main villain is, though, right?
Umbridge. Which arguably is the biggest villain of the books.
Yeah.
So,
The real life actual villain.
Yes. We are way more terrified of Umbridge because we've all had a teacher like Umbridge.
Yeah.
I went to Catholic school, so I had several teachers like Umbridge.
I am so sorry.
Yeah,
Did they
it built character?
Well, were they like as color coordinated as her at least?
Oh no. Very. I mean, education's very underfunded, even in private schools. So they couldn't afford to have cute little outfits.
That's a shame.
I know.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I won't spoil it here for you. I would really love for you to go into that ride, not knowing.
Okay. Well, speaking to me.
To you.
To me. Okay. Not like.
I'm not talking to anybody. Nah, I'm talking to everybody else.
We're talking to a podcast. Yeah. Do you care about other people knowing what this ride is about? Do we have anything we want to talk about here?
I can tell you that it uses a similar ride system to like Spider-Man.
Okay.
And
can you explain
Transformers in that? So you know from me, and I'm talking to you, Jess.
Listening.
Yeah. that I love the scoop vehicle from Spider-Man. It's really fun. It does a lot of fun motion stuff, but basically imagine the Spider-Man vehicle, but it's an elevator. It's like supposed to feel like an elevator, but it can go up and down about 10, 15 feet to get on like multiple levels.
Okay, so if you imagine like how the Ministry of Magic elevators that go up, down, sideways, left, right,
yes,
whatever.
A Wonkavator, some people have called it.
I mean, that fits. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And that's all you get.
Okay.
Yeah. Some screens, which is unavoidable.
Well, you know, yeah. We expected this.
Yeah.
As long as it's not primarily. I mean, Spider-Man, it has screens, but it's not all about
They're blended in.
They're blended in. There's some interesting practical stuff.
Yeah.
Fire. Yeah. But the image of the scoop vehicle that you're referring to of Spider-Man is on our Instagram. We have an Instagram apparently. Thanks,
Guys,
Tyler.
we got all kinds of stuff now. I was busy trying to, after we launched the podcast, I was then immediately like, oh crap, I need to like get all the social accounts before other people get it. So you can pretty much find us anywhere at Ride It Out Pod, POD.
Mm-hmm.
That's our email. It's our website, Instagram, YouTube.
So
all of those things.
Also need to brag on you because not only have you done all of the heavy lifting on the podcast, or I just have to show up. Like he upgraded our
yeah, you'll
equipment.
Notice we sound good now.
We hopefully sound
nice.
better. If we don't sound good, that is just the fault of us and not the equipment.
Right.
Which
and
is
I
cool.
can handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tyler did all of that. You also just a one-off real quick. Let me just quickly write this beautiful theme song, which I listened to and I was like, yeah, that. So
yeah, the theme music is by me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't like bragging on myself, but I've really liked it. I wrote it in 30 minutes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm a musician. I have been making some other music, and I already had a template set up for like a pop punk kind of sound.
Yeah.
And just kind of sat down and did it. So if you like that, you're fucking welcome.
And if you don't like it,
then why are you here?
Yeah, you're listening to the wrong podcast because it's all that's what we're about. Yeah.
So anyway, we're getting things in order. And speaking of getting things in order, segue. Today's episode, thank you so much. Today's episode, the idea that we had for it is we have each come up with 5 questions for the other person about, well, at least mine are a mix of things specifically about Universal Orlando, but also kind of just some general theme park things.
Oh, I think mine they might be exclusively...
And that's okay. There's no rules. We make the rules.
Yeah, yeah. You can answer some of these more openly if you want, but
yeah.
I had Universal in mind when I wrote them, so you do you.
Well, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we should just get right into that.
Yeah, let's do it.
If you're into it.
Yeah.
Who goes first? Do you want to rock, paper, scissors?
All right.
Okay, we're going to do... this is going to be audio poison.
Oh, I was
Sorry.
I was so uncomfortable because I was doing it with my left hand and I'm right-handed. I'm like, I don't know how to make a scissor. I'm like, just swap hands with the mic and then you can...
It's so easy to put that mic in the other hand.
I did it. Okay.
All right, we're going to do rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I will narrate.
Wait. If you win, what does that mean?
If I win, then I go first. If you win, then you go first.
Then you read me your question first.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's do it.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. She got me. She did scissors. I did paper.
Okay.
Amateur mistake. All right, let's have your first question.
All right, Tyler. My first question for you is, what has been your favorite interaction with a team member?
Oh, that is such a good question. Oh, man. So my answer for this is actually... Oh, I was thinking that it was from Busch Gardens, but I think it actually was at Islands of Adventure, getting on the Hulk. This was on my solo trip, I think.
One of my
many solo trips. And I was feeling silly enough and happy enough by my experience that was going on at the parks that I started to get on the ride. And it was a pretty low volume train that I was getting on. So there were like, I don't know, it was maybe half full. And I get on, I start to sit down, and the ride attendant comes over and starts, I think they're called gamma techs. at Hulk. He comes over and starts buckling me in, and I just look up at him and I go, "Hey dude, how you doing?" And he goes, "I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you?"
Aw.
And I was like, "Nice. I'm glad to hear that. You having a good day?" And he's like, "Can't complain, man. I'm on the Hulk."
Hell yeah.
So that was pretty great. And then when I got off the ride, I did like a, what do you call this gesture I'm making
sign
right
language for why? Like a
hang
10,
loose,
bro.
hang loose.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
where you got your thumb and your pinky out. I was just like, And then he did it with both hands and like crossed and did a dance and stuff.
Oh,
with it.
hell yeah. He was feeling
he was
it.
having a good time. The only other one that comes to mind that I can think of is one of our first times going to, and sorry if I'm like stealing yours because I want to hear yours too. Actually, you go now, and if I have to add it.
I was really
would love for you to
hoping
answer
that
this
I would
question.
not have to answer because I did not think of answers for
Totally
my
fine.
questions.
You don't have to.
I don't,
I think I know the one that you would say.
Oh, well, maybe you can do it for me then. I was just going to say, I love what you said because I just love treating people like they're humans.
Yeah.
And just like, like,
It's much more fun that way.
Yeah. And just, I don't know. I'm sure there's so many people who just like walk right by and like, they're out there doing their jobs and trying to make your day special. So
yeah, ignoring people that have to be in a place all day long sucks.
yes. And it's just rude. But I kind of love that you've explained this that at Disney, the folks who work there are so like extra and excited about their jobs, and they're like, I am bringing the magic to everyone. So they're just like on cloud 9 always, and they just want to make your day perfect. Like, my best team member interaction for any theme park would probably be I went to Disney with one of my best friends from childhood growing up, Kirsten. We went
What's up, Kirsten?
Yeah, we went for spring break in college, and we went on, is it Space Mountain?
The indoor dark coaster?
Yes. And we both got like Mickey Mouse ears, and we went on, and I don't know if there's like a cubby or like I sat on my ears or something, but I left my ears on the ride.
No.
And I was so sad about it. And we like went over and we're like, I'm so sorry. We left our ears. Do y'all have like a lost and found or whatever? And they were like, come on. And we got to the front of the line. They had my ears, and then they let me and Kirsten ride it again.
Oh my God.
And we skipped the line. And I was just like, that's just Disney. That is like,
That is the Disney touch.
I want to give you the little magic and make your day great. So that was super cool. But Universal's not like that. They're like, look, we're professionals. We'll do our job, but it's on you if you want to have a good day.
Exactly.
And I
also,
like that.
There are certain people who are like in character, and certain people who are just like, yeah. I'm here working the ride. Get on, and I'll strap you in.
Like I would say,
which is fine.
Like the mummy people on stilts are probably my favorite because they just sit there and glare at you.
Yes.
And like my child will be like in a stroller, like looking up at them. They're just like, I'm gonna get in your face and glare at you. And I like that dedication.
It's nice.
Yeah.
What I thought you were going to say was outside of the King's Cross station over in Studios.
Yes.
Yeah, you love going up to those attendants. It was like one of the first times we had gone there. You went up to one of the attendants who is like a train employee is what they look like for the train station. They're standing outside, and you went up to them and you were like, excuse me, do you know how to get to platform 9 3/4? And they, were fully in it, like fully committed to the role. And we're like, we don't have a platform. What? Platform 9 3/4?
Well, and they say
10.
They're in a British accent too. Like they're fully in character,
9 3/4.
Yeah.
There's no 9 3/4. There's a 9, there's a 10.
And then they pull out like change in their pockets, and they're like, I have 3/4 here. You want that? And like, so, and I've done this multiple times, and they all do it. It's so great.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
That's a fun interaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ready for my first one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. This is something that I have guesses, but I've never asked you outright.
Okay.
What is your favorite and least favorite type of ride at any theme park or amusement park?
Okay. When you say like type of ride, like kind of just
like genre, I can list a few if you want.
That would probably be helpful, but I can say my least favorite is like either a screens only, or like Simpson ride where it tries
Just like a moving theater.
It tries
basically.
to move you, but then it does screens and it just makes you sick. I can't do a lot of the like traditional fair rides that kind of like whip you around and
We
make
call
you sick.
those flat rides.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of that stuff can make me
Because
kind of
it's all
sick.
just about spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Spinning's not super fun after you hit your 30s.
Yeah.
Can be for some. I can spin a bit. I can do upside downs a bit.
You can do a lot of things.
I mean, even I had a point where I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm good on this.
Yeah.
I get it.
So I would say that probably is my least favorite, but give me some examples of types.
So, I mean, you know a lot of these. Roller coasters is a type. We've got dark rides, which are vehicles that move through different show scenes inside a building usually. And we can talk about examples of this stuff. We've got like double shot style rides where it like shoots
That's
you up a
least
tower.
favorite. I
Yeah,
do
I
not
know
like
you hate
that sinking.
feeling.
Yeah, I can't do that. That's why I think I'll probably never skydive because I don't. Yeah,
Just the free fall. You don't like that?
I don't. Yeah,
You don't even like that when we like go over hills in a car.
Water rides. I like those okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you got like a log flume type. Then there are, I mean, there's like swings.
Yeah.
There's what you call like slot car rides. Universal doesn't have a lot of those. Do they have any of those? I don't think so. What else?
What is that? So give me an example.
A slot car?
Yeah.
So like Test Track at Disney is a slot car ride.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
No.
You get in a car and you go really fast, but you're like on this, your car like straddles this rail.
Okay.
And that's what like moves it along.
Okay. Is that an Epcot?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't know, man.
I've maybe done it.
So we didn't talk about this last time. I've only been to Disney once.
That's so wild.
My senior year of high school, we took a band trip to Disney World. We went to several of the parks. We weren't like playing or performing. We just went.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was really fun.
I like that. Yeah.
What are other types of rides? Well, and then you have like combinations of those things.
And that's what I was going to say. I think is probably my favorite is a combination because like I love the thing I love about a dark ride is that you're in air conditioning, which is great for theme parks. But I love a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like that's just kind of like what you think of, but the
good
theming is not always there. Usually the point is just to put you on a thing and whip you around. So I love theming. So a integrated experience. I mean, Hagrid isn't even quite.
Hagrid has like a new type of name for a thing. They call it a story coaster.
Yeah.
Because there are like show scene moments.
Yes.
That you stop at.
That's so fun.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I really love that.
If you are listening to this and you have not been on Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM, you are absolutely missing out on like one of the best rides that exists in the world.
Yeah, it's great. Well, and I love anything that like you can get a good view of the park.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be like the highest view, like even just what's the little trolley thing in Seuss
The
Land?
High in the Sky Seuss Trolley Train Ride.
How do you just know all this off the top of your head?
It's what I do, man.
Yeah.
These are the things I've internalized.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really fun one. So that's over in Seuss Landing. I am so sorry. I have to apologize. I called it Seuss Land last episode.
Oh, that's what I call it. So you probably got that from
that's what
me.
everybody calls it. It's fine. But I have integrity for this thing.
And I don't.
No, that's not what I meant. Yeah, but I've been on that ride a few times, and sometimes they cut off different sections because it can go through buildings. It goes into like the Circus McGurkus little cafeteria area around the top. Anyway, they have these little switch moments where they can close it off from a specific area. Not sure why, but it's good when you get to go on that one and get to do all of the things that it does. It's like Universal's equivalent of, sort of, the equivalent of the People Mover ride, where you just get on,
Yeah.
You go look at stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a good view.
So what are your favorite and least favorites?
I mean, my least favorite type of ride is going to match yours for sure. It's the moving theater rides.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been on a few fun ones over the years, but it just pales in comparison to the other stuff that I really enjoy. Self-explanatory, I think. Simpsons also, for whatever reason, more than any of these other rides, makes me really sick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is unfortunate. So yeah, I would not be surprised if that ride leaves eventually within the next 5 or so years once they start renovating stuff at studios again after Epic's open and running. My favorite type of ride, this is really easy for me, dark ride.
Mm-hmm. You do love a dark ride.
Love a dark ride, not just for the AC, that's a huge component, but for the story presentation. And it's even better when it's a hybrid of multiple different types of systems. Like, for example, Men in Black, technically a dark ride, but is also a interactive shooter ride.
I love an interactive ride too. It's great. Yeah.
And that's probably the best, I haven't been on a ton, but based on what I have seen, Men in Black it opened in 99 and it is still the best interactive shooter ride anywhere. So many practical animatronics, such cool theming. It's just a slam dunk.
Very forgiving point system because I can shoot just anywhere near that alien and they're very, very accommodating.
They do recommend that you shoot them. I mean, the eyes are like direct targets, and a lot of them that have like glowing eyes the color will change, so you'll be able to hear. And then your gun, I think, makes like a very slight noise change, but I think it's pretty subtle. But yeah, head and shoulders and then eyes. So it is really forgiving.
No knees and toes?
No knees and toes, knees and toes.
Jeez.
That song is very friend of mine because we have a toddler. But I think that also has to do with the gun that they have. It shoots out in like what would you call it? Not like a point, but it's like it spreads as it goes. I don't know. My terminology is failing me.
I don't know things about guns, so I can't help you.
Well, I know things about light guns because video games. Yeah, but anytime you combine a dark ride with other stuff, the Mummy, incredible dark ride coaster hybrid. Yeah, I just like physical interactions with the environment mostly, I think.
And the Mummy is probably, if not the one of your favorite rides at Universal Orlando in total. And you almost always, if you don't do it first, you always end the visit.
I do
with Mummy. Yeah,
gotta get on at least once.
Yeah,
there's a lot of rides when I go to the parks where I have to get on them at least once, or it kind of feels a little disappointing. The last time we went, I didn't get to do some of those favorites, just because it was like so slammed.
Well, and I think you were letting me get on more stuff, so you were exploring the parks with Autumn. So.
I was, which is fun for me too.
Yeah, you do.
I like when you get to get on stuff.
You get a lot of vicarious joy.
Just in general.
Yeah. All right. So my next question for you is, what is your favorite thing to eat or drink? I said at the parks, but I guess you could do like any park food. It doesn't have to be Universal.
Yeah, that's good. Well, it depends on what we're talking about. Are we talking full meals? Or are we talking snacks? Because I'd probably have different answers. You know exactly what my snack answer would be. It is over in Seuss Landing again. There are so many reasons for us to go in there now, which is cool. But Seuss Landing, right inside the entrance to the left, you got green eggs and ham. And there are these tots, you guys. There's a buffalo chicken tots. And there's a pizza tots, and they're both amazing. Amazing for theme park food. They're not like the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. But when you're there, it's so good.
And I would argue that could be a full meal. Like it doesn't have sides.
A full meal.
Yeah, it doesn't have sides, so it's, I guess, technically a snack, but it's filling. They're delicious. That would probably, I mean, that's probably my favorite food item.
Shout out for sure to the Pew 2 on YouTube, because that's where I first found out about those. Seuss Landing for years was always just a pass-through park for me. Land. Fuck. You know what I mean? That one's staying in. But now that I've learned about that, and now that I have learned the joy of, especially when it's so hot in the middle of summer, any one of those buildings, even the shops and stuff, you walk in, they are blasting AC.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a little bit harder to think about full meals, because I don't think unless I'm there by myself, which I've done a few times, we're not often like sitting down for meals.
I think when you do, and we're not going to count City Walk, but like when you do sit down to a meal, you're pretty much always at is it Finnegan's?
Finnegan's, yeah. Okay. Over in Studios, right across from the Mummy in the New York section.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like an Irish pub. I am a big fan of buffalo tendies.
Yeah.
So I go in there and get chicken tenders and have them toss them in buffalo sauce, and usually get a beer, and it's perfect.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Especially in the intense heat of the afternoon, you just sit down, enjoy some food that you know you're going to like, and watch all the people mill around, and it's nice.
So in terms of, that's favorite food. How about drink?
Favorite drink? If we're talking alcohol, the one that I always like to get, if I can, if we have time, and if I don't always feel like liquor. That's a tough thing. So a lot of the time, like if I'm just getting a beer, I'll just get like a, whatever light beer they have at kiosks and stuff. But over in the San Francisco area, right next to...
It's the Ghirardelli factory.
Yeah, right across from that, kind of near Richter's.
Yeah. Yeah, right before
we're talking about in Studios.
Yes, right before you get to the Diagon Alley area.
Yeah.
Or sorry, no.
Yeah, it's right before Diagon Alley.
Okay.
Across from the Fast and Furious gift shop. Look, it's in that area at the wharf.
Yeah.
There's a bar called Chez Alcatraz, which also is right next to where they have the remaining Jaws like statue of him hanging on the thing. The good photo op. But Chez Alcatraz has a Jaws themed drink called the Ocean Attack, I think they call it now. And they have like a whole ritual thing that they do for it. So I won't tell you what that is, but go try that sometime. Be sure to look at what's in it.
That whole bar has slam dunk great cocktails.
Yeah.
They're expensive. It's a theme park. Of course they are.
You're not going to escape that.
But I feel like that's not just like, here's some alcohol, drink it. Like they are really nice, cool cocktails. And the bartenders are always super nice.
So nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although if you are more of a beer person, I will say that the Wizarding World, I'll call it the Wizarding World, they have their
call
own...
it whatever you want.
Fine. They have their own draft beer.
They do.
So
they have several unique ones that are just sold at the parks.
Yeah.
And you can get them in the restaurants, but I would recommend going over to, what are they called? Oh, the Hog's Head is one place that has them. Mm-hmm. And the Hopping Pot, I think, is the other one. Oh, other chill spots to get a drink. It's in City Walk, but Margaritaville.
Oh, yeah.
And especially the, what do they call it? The Lone Palm Airport is a great spot to just get a good margarita and sit and people watch. It's sad now, though, because I don't know what happened to it, but the Hemisphere dancer, Jimmy Buffett's plane, is not there anymore.
I
don't know where it went.
Maybe his estate took it back after he passed away.
Could be. Or maybe they're moving it to one of the other restaurants or something.
Yeah, maybe it's gonna tour or something, but it's Jimmy Buffett's actual plane that was actually shot at, and he wrote a song about it.
Jamaica Mistake.
Yeah. Hilarious. Yeah,
very funny.
You could see the bullet holes in it. It was really cool. So my favorite thing, the tots were probably my favorite thing I was going to say.
For sure.
We recently went to the Minions Cafe in Studios.
Surprisingly good food.
It was.
I want to explore the menu more. I really liked, I think I got a roast beef and cheddar sandwich.
That sounds right. I got some kind of pulled pork or pork belly, something. It was delicious. It was like the messiest thing in the world, but I can forgive it if it's delicious. So that was
I
cool.
do also want to go back to Mythos and
Yes.
be able to sit down there.
Yes. I've
Now
eaten
that
there
Autumn is
before.
like a little bit older, maybe you're looking at me like, no.
Our child doesn't like to sit still. So as much as we love eating out, we haven't been to restaurants in a long time.
Don't get to do it much.
We'll go there again.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mythos is delicious. And I think would be worth the sit down experience. Favorite drinks. I gotta say butterbeer. It's butterbeer.
It's always butterbeer.
Specifically,
what's your favorite kind?
Frozen.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've accidentally ordered cold before, and when you want frozen, you get cold. It's not the same thing.
Have you tried the warm one?
I have. When it's cold outside, the warm one is great.
Yes. Any other time, it's miserable.
Yeah. Any other
Not
time,
a fan.
not great. I like to match the temperature of liquid to the temperature that I want to feel, whereas you are just cold liquid all the time.
Don't like hot liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Sue me.
Sometimes we're wrong about things. It's okay.
Rude. At Universal Orlando specifically, where do you wish you could spend more time that you usually can't?
Ooh, that is a great question.
What's got the good vibes or the good views?
I mean, I pretty much could always just sit in Harry Potter World like all day and just enjoy all the little moments in the like store front windows and that kind of thing. So I mean that's probably like I could spend like a long time there. I think that's what immediately comes to mind.
Yeah, that's a good answer. And Diagon Alley specifically.
Yes.
I mean, Hogsmeade is really cute and cool, and it's cool to see that.
And I love
so
it.
Snowy all the time. But
yes. Especially, well, it's funny when it's like super hot out and you see the snow, but
magic snow.
Yeah. But Diagon Alley, I think it feels more contained.
It's more immersive.
More
for
immersive.
Sure.
You can't see the rest of the park, so you do feel like you're actually transported there. So yes, I think Diagon Alley specifically.
Yeah, it's good. And I mean, getting to see the dragon blast off every so often is really fun.
It is fun. How about you?
Oh man, that's tough because I feel like I do, especially on the solo trips I've done, I have taken a lot more time to sit and chill, or like when you're writing something or doing something, I've had the opportunity to hang out with our daughter and just, watch. Central Park in studios is really fun to be at. What about in islands? Well, okay, back over in studios, this is not a place that I feel like I don't get to hang out much, but it's one of my favorite just places to exist in over there is the New York area, the backlot.
Yeah.
All the little alleyways. I on my last solo trip, I went and just looked in all the shop windows because they all have these little displays and there's like products sitting out and I don't know, the attention to detail is so lovely. I also love looking up like on the second story where they have like the facades of offices and things, and I'll see a name and I'll like Google what it is, and it was like somebody who helped work on the parks or that kind of thing is really fun. In islands, well, I mean the two lands and islands that you split off right from port of entry are Seuss Landing and Marvel Superhero Island, and I feel like both of those are just really cool to just be in. Honestly, all of the islands, they're all cool and immersive and fun. There's like no reason to hang out in Lost Continent anymore.
Which is sad because it is a cool space.
That used to be one of my favorite places to be. Poseidon's Fury. I'm devastated that is gone because there's literally nothing in that land anymore other than Mythos and a few like snack places and shops.
I wish it would stay open until it was time to like actually
until they're
going to
do something with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, such a tragedy.
But I would have thought you would have said port of entry because I think like you want to spend a lot of time soaking that up, but there's always like the rush I got to get through rides. And there's no rides in port of entry.
Yeah.
So there's usually not much reason to linger there unless you're shopping or eating.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think my answer is going to be every single land and area.
Cool. Great.
So that's not super fun.
You just want to like sleep overnight.
Honestly,
is that a thing that they do?
But I've had dreams where I do that.
I'm sure you've had multiple dreams. Yeah,
I have.
No, but I remember when I was in the Girl Scouts, we did this overnight trip to Discovery Cove.
Where's that?
It's I think it's affiliated with SeaWorld in Orlando, and there's a space that you can see the dolphin enclosure, and we just had that whole room closed off to us, and we like lined up our little sleeping bags, and you just slept with the dolphins and just watched them swim all night long.
That sounds so magical.
It was amazing. It was wonderful. So like if something like that existed for Universal, like no, you can't just get up and ride the rides through the night, but like even if they were just
to be there, even if the rides were like doing their own thing. Even if they just had the lights and the signs and stuff on.
Yeah. I know. You would love
and
that.
The music. Yeah. They'd have to have the background music playing.
Yeah. Otherwise it gets a little creepy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, my next question for you. What is something we haven't experienced together at the parks that you want to do?
What have we not gotten to do together? Oh, this is a general call for any listeners who have tips about this, because for over a decade now, I've been seeing that this is a thing that can be done. I try every time I'm in the parks. I feel like I just can't thread the needle. And you know what I'm about to say?
Yeah.
There are, on most of the major attractions, rides, I don't think they do this for shows. There are these like backstage tours that you can take. So there are so many different like criteria that go into whether or not they do this. It can't be too slow of a day because they need staff available. It can't be too busy of a day because if it's busy, it's like all hands on deck. But if you get there at whatever combination of times and staffing or whatever that allow, you can just say, hey, can I do for example, at Men in Black, they have the immigration tour. At the Mummy, I can't remember the specific name that they call it, but you basically just say, are you guys doing backstage tours today? And then they'll tell you yes or no. But if they're available and can do it, they lead you through the queue and they point out all kinds of details and stuff about the queues, theming, Easter eggs, history, like how the ride was made, whatever. And then sometimes they'll even take you down to the track for the ride and let you look at these areas that like nobody gets to see except for people that work there.
Wow.
Yeah. And I already know most of this stuff just from over the years looking it up and like wanting to learn more about it. But getting to like go see it myself, I think would be a dream. So if you're a listener and you have successfully done one of these backstage tours, I would love to know when and how and why and where and to what extent. Because I'm looking for it. I will also plug this right now, and I'll do it at the end too. You can text the show now. There's a link in the show notes that says send us a text, and that comes directly to us. We won't be able to respond through like a text message, but there's a possibility we might reply later on in a future episode. And so you can email us too. Anyway, let us know. I'm very interested. How about you?
Yeah, something we haven't experienced together. I mean, Epic, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably easy.
Are there any rides that we haven't been on together?
Oh, I'm sure there.
Yeah?
I'm sure.
Probably so, because we probably really didn't frequently start coming together until you were pregnant.
We started coming together the year before, but then I couldn't ride a lot of the rides for a bit. I think it's been a while. And, since we've had autumn, we're usually swapping. So we're not writing stuff together. So like, I mean, even like Hagrid's, we've never written that together. Like I wrote it with Kat.
Whoa.
Because we did child swap, but we, swap partners.
Man, yeah, you're right. And so I went to Universal for both my bachelor party before we got married.
Yep.
And also for a dadchiller party before we had our daughter.
Which I highly recommend. Like you
extremely recommend.
You deserve a little trip before, it's before things get complicated.
Yeah. But for my bachelor party, it was Dragon Challenge still.
Oh,
and we
wow.
did that a bunch. Yeah, with my group of groomsmen.
So what year would that have been?
2015?
Yeah, because it probably would have been the summer before we got married. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, you might have
Maybe
gone
it was
like
2016.
Like March, like spring break time,
Something
I think.
like that.
2016, yeah.
I can look that up. And yes, it was Dragon Challenge then. And then when I went for my bachelor party, obviously you weren't there. I was there without you.
Yeah.
And it was Hagrid's. Wow. That's bonkers. If we did, how are we going to decide who rides on the bike and who rides in the sidecar?
Oh, well, I can't remember. I maybe have only done sidecar. I'm not sure.
Oh, you have got to try the bike.
Yeah.
It's so unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sensation of like holding onto the handlebars and like leaning into the turns and stuff is like totally different than
That's cool.
Being on like a regular roller coaster. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. But it's really, especially if you're doing single rider, it's luck of the draw.
Right.
Like whoever you get paired up with, it's just like whatever order you're in, the first person has to get on the bike and then the second person gets on the sidecar.
But you've talked to people when you're randomly paired, like
I do.
Yeah, because you've asked like, oh, have you never done this before? Do you want to be in the bike?
I usually just ask, what's your preference? You know, like, do you want bike or sidecar? And then if they don't have a strong preference, I'm like, get me on that bike. That blew my mind though. I thought, I'm upset by that we haven't done that together yet.
Yeah. I don't know. There's still more exciting things to come for us.
There's always new things to do, new goals, new little challenges to set for ourselves.
Yep.
It'll never get old, he said pretty confidently. Jessica.
Tyler.
Do you have a favorite screen ride?
Oh, yeah. I would probably say Forbidden Journey because
Does that one make you sick?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, all the screen rides do, but I think that one feels very exciting. You're getting like the full scope of all of Hogwarts, so it feels very magical. There's the dragon.
There are so many physical props on that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good sets.
Yeah, the Dementors and the spiders and so
that one is a dark ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But it has screens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dark rides can have screens.
Great.
I just mean
yes
for clarification.
So yes, I would probably say that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Spider-Man for me.
Yeah.
There are so many things that and I would love to do specific episodes about maybe specific rides later on. But when Spider-Man was created, it pioneered a lot of this technology for the first time. And it did such an amazing job of, they had to create basically new kinds of, not math, but like new kinds of calculation to be able to have a moving ride vehicle in front of a screen and to like distort the stuff that's on the screen based on the perspective of the rider. They came up with a thing called squinching, where you're on the left side of the room moving right. So what happens is whatever's in the foreground is roughly going to stay where it is, but the stuff in the background starts over on one side and then moves pretty severely over to the other side to make it look like real life. It's called parallaxing, where things move or appear to move differently based on how far away they are from an observer. Anyway, go look up, just Google Spider-Man Universal Squinching. Squinch.
Thank you for knowing that you would need to spell that because it sounds like a made up word.
It is.
But that effect where you are going up, like scaling up the building.
That's one of my favorite parts of this ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
You move into this area where you have been shot with oh gosh, what's Doc Ock has
Mhm.
the like anti-gravity gun or whatever that he's using to like steal the Statue of Liberty, and he shoots you with it, so you start like floating up in the air. And what happens in that room is they blast you with a fan, so you like feel a lot of downward air movement to simulate moving upward. They also, I mean, the ride vehicles can lift up, but it's like a couple feet at most, maybe not even that high. But yeah, so they blow these fans, and then as you are moving into the room, you're seeing these buildings on the screen like go downward as if you're going up. But then also there are a few panels of actual like physical, I don't know what they're made of. It could be foam board or like plaster or something for all I know, that are having lights projected on them. So the lights are tracing downwards, and then the props go into the floor. So it's this beautiful combination of things you're seeing on a screen being matched up with physical prop set pieces actually moving that like really sells the illusion
Yeah.
of it. It's so cool.
It's so well done.
Yeah.
And
that ride is ancient now.
right.
It's still so good.
Yeah, you can see why it was so innovative at the time. I see a little bit of movement from the child, so
she's moving.
Let's kind of rapid fire these next ones.
I'm gonna answer so fast.
Great. If you had 1 hour in the parks with no wait times, what would you do?
Oh my gosh. With no wait times?
Yeah.
I would get on every single ride at least once.
Well, sure, but like, how would you prioritize?
I would prioritize probably the stuff that I know is most likely to break down in the middle of the day.
Nice.
So
so logical.
I don't know. I'd get right on Hagrid. I'd probably just work my way around. I would want to do all the coasters first thing in the... Wow, that's tough, though, on my old body now. My priorities would be get on all the coasters, get on all of the outdoor stuff before it gets super hot, then go inside, do a bunch of the dark rides, and then, I don't know, depending on the time of year... Whew, dude. This is tough. The gears are turning. If there's no wait times, then I don't really have to prioritize anything. I can just get on it all. That was a good question. What are your like main priorities in that scenario?
Yeah, I would say Hagrid and Velocicoaster are the like two got to get on first.
Oh, I didn't even talk about Velocicoaster.
Oh yeah, dude. Hulk. Rip Ride Rocket is leaving soon, and I feel like I did it for the last time.
Yeah.
But the thing that sucks the most about it is the line, and we'll probably have a whole thing talking about that. But so if there were no wait times, I wouldn't have to deal with the line. So fine, I would do it again.
Rattle your noggin though.
Yeah.
That might be an end of the day.
Yeah. Well, Hulk does a little bit too.
It does.
Yeah. So yeah, I would get on all the coasters. But then I think I would just hit up like my favorites, you know, it would be Mummy, Spider-Man, Forbidden Journey, let's see, what, Men in Black.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to
just work your way around and hop on it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
That must be what people with like the unlimited express pass feels like all the time.
Yeah. Just go do the specific ones they want. Yeah.
That was a good one. Well, you kind of already asked one of my questions.
Oh, no. I was worried this would happen.
No, it's fine. It just means, we can get through them a little faster. So this is about any park, not just Universal. What are your happy places at the theme parks that you've been to?
My happy places? Yeah, I think there's a lot of good spaces for observing. I think when you first walk into Diagon Alley and you see the dragon, like just looking out over there, that bridge by the lake in Studios where you can look over.
Oh, between like Wizarding World and World Expo where Men in Black is?
Yes. And so, yeah, if you're facing away from Men in Black and looking back, like that's always like, oh, I'm here,
Yeah.
So I would say that I've really enjoyed taking Autumn to Camp Jurassic. So
that would definitely be one of mine.
That's been fun. The bridge that's in between like Hogsmeade and Velocicoaster, where you can just see Velocicoaster going around.
Yeah, around the backside of Hogwarts.
That's been a place where like if one of us is with Autumn and the other is on the ride, like we hang out there. Like she loves watching the coaster go around.
She does.
This kid is going to be ready to roll.
I cannot wait.
Yeah. But that's really fun because like it's just great to see like all the excited people and, you know, they're whipping around and they're like, and you're like, oh, I know how they're feeling.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would probably say this. I know.
What about it like Wild Adventures? Do you have a happy place there?
Oh, well, so Wild Adventures.
This is our kind of like home family park
yes.
in Valdosta, Georgia.
Think of it as like a mini Busch Gardens with a little more like fair and like family kind of rides than like, you know, it has like fewer roller coasters.
Yeah, they do have a water park, which is cool.
They do, which is great. I love all the animals there.
Yeah.
So I think they have a little boardwalk trail that you can go through.
So good.
It's a lovely like immersive space, and
especially at night.
At night or holiday time, they do lights and like a laser show in the wintertime. So yeah, so that would probably be my favorite. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, if it's hot outside, that lazy river over in Splash Island, the water park.
Yeah, love a lazy river.
If it's not so hot outside, then probably that boardwalk with all the animals is really good through the forest. I don't know. I like to find the little areas that are kind of tucked away. Oh, you know what? Right on the lake right there, they have this new like seating area with like a bunch of yard games and
the like little brews and bites or whatever.
Brews and bites, I think is what they call it now. Yeah. But it's just, you know, looks right over the water. And it's a lot smaller than like a Universal, so you can like see everything basically.
Yeah.
And play some games, have a drink or some food, and then they have live music out there sometimes too, which is really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be mine for that.
That's a chill space.
New York in studios.
Yeah.
Central Park also in studios, which funnily enough is like on the other side from where the New York backlot is. It's right outside of where they have the Animal Actors show and kind of close to ET. ET is also a happy place for me.
Oh, the ET line.
Yeah, specifically. We have a candle in our house going right this second that it smells like the ET ride.
Yeah, it
smells
so
like
good.
A forest and like nearby water.
Yeah, probably
magical.
Like maybe not the most popular opinion, but my favorite part of ET is the line in the woods and then everything before you get to ET's planet. I don't care about ET's planet as much. That makes me
so sad.
I just want to fly over.
Why don't you want to help the green planet?
I'll help if I'm there. I just don't want to go out of my way for it.
But they're throwing a party for you. And that's where all the good water smell comes from.
Yeah. I feel like I get some of that in the line too. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh man.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I'm going to convert you to that eventually too.
No, I'm down for it. I'm just saying like
the forest area is just like so good.
And I got to go back next time because last time when I was in line with Mike, when we went, they had technical issues and they had to turn on all the lights, which just ruins the illusion. It was so sad. And we had to leave. So I got to do that again.
You got another one for me before we
I do.
She's being very still right now, which is great.
I know. She kind of like tucked back in and was like, okay, 5 more minutes. Yeah. My last question for you. If you could replace Fast and Furious with any retired ride, what would it be and why is it Jaws?
Oh, man. It wouldn't be Jaws, unfortunately.
Shocking.
I know.
Well, mine would be. So
I know.
You go.
Yeah, no. Jaws was a great ride. Unfortunately, I was so young when I rode it the few times. I really liked it, but it scared the absolute shit out of me.
Yeah.
As an adult, I feel like it would be way more fun. But honestly, what I would replace Fast and Furious with is the thing that it replaced, a few like versions before that. Earthquake, the big one.
Oh,
Yeah.
the big one.
The big one, because it was Earthquake, which was, if you're not familiar, go look up videos. It was a simulation of what it's like to be in an earthquake in a subway station. So you get on this subway train, you go into the station, and then all of a sudden, the ground starts shaking. The entire room starts flooding with water, like thousands of gallons of water. Sparks flying everywhere. The ceiling cracks. A semi-truck falls down from the ceiling towards you and bursts into flames. And then at the end of the ride, they stop everything, let all the water drain out, then reset all the props. So everything just resets back into place, and then you roll back out. It feels very old Universal to me, like Hollywood tram tour style, where they have like the big flood scene through the street. I don't know. There's just something, again, that's so practical about it, but because it's not tied to an IP, people have no reason to go do it. I mean, it kind of was. It was like loosely based on like the Earthquake movie.
See, I didn't realize that it wasn't directly tied in the movie.
I mean, maybe it is, but it's like nothing. I mean, there's no like actors or anything in the thing. That,
not in the same way as like Twister was.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man, Twister is great too. We'll have to talk about that one day. Yeah, talk about old defunct attractions.
Yes.
Like every other theme park content creators.
I don't care.
I love it.
We do what we want.
We make the rules. Yeah, it would be that. So it was Earthquake, and then it was Disaster, which was when studios first opened in Orlando. It was very focused on like the making of the movies and the immersive nature of you are riding the movies. Ride the movies was like their slogan for like a long time. And they have moved pretty hard away from that over time, just because I think people are for whatever reason, less interested in how movies are made and more interested in, I want to see familiar characters and scenes and things, rather than it be like The Mummy is a holdover of this. The Mummy is like, you're coming on the set of the sequel to The Mummy.
Yeah.
And actually, but there's a curse on set and we're trying to figure out why and whatever. So you're going to get, but then the second the ride starts, there's one reference to it being a movie set, which is the guy that gets silenced at the very beginning is a PA with like the red hat that shows up in one of the pre-show like Q videos. But that's the only reference from that point that anything is from a movie or is a movie set. Yeah, and so Disaster was, and we don't have to spend a lot of time on this, like a making of the movies type thing where they like had a big pre-show thing. They would bring audience participators up and film them on green screens, like reacting to things falling and crumbling, and then you get to like see yourself cut into the Disaster movie that was being made.
That's cool.
So it was neat. But yeah, it's Earthquake.
I never did Back to the Future either.
Yeah. Did I? I honestly can't remember if the first time I went there, if they even had it. We weren't riding a ton though. My younger brother did not want to get on things.
Yeah.
So they forced him to get on Jaws.
Yeah.
Told him it was a boat ride.
This poor child. How old was he?
Way too young.
He'd appreciate it now.
I think we'd love it now.
Yeah.
If I ever make it over to Japan, they still have Jaws. At Universal Japan.
Yeah. Wow. If only.
If only.
That was super fun. You had great questions.
Oh, you had great questions and great answers. You're the one.
Okay.
Well, thanks for hanging out. Sorry we got to rush off, but our child is almost done with her nap, and we need to make some preparations for
the awakening.
The awakening.
If you've got any questions for us about the parks and our experience that you want us to answer, text them to us, and maybe we will.
Of course. You can also send us an email to writeitoutpod, pod@gmail.com. You can find us on either YouTube or Instagram if you're so inclined. Probably not going to be super active on there, but we'll be around. We'll hear you eventually.
Trying to take a social media cleanse, so probably not going to be doing a whole bunch of responding to things on there.
But we'll see it at least. And we can talk about it on here.
And you'll see it. So,
Yeah.
you do you.
Thank you for hanging out. I'm glad we sound better. And I'm Tyler.
I'm Jess.
And until we ride again.
No screens.
No screens. That was us high-fiving at the very end.